Hello, it is the cousin, and I have got my snippy snippies, a little knife, and a can of beer. The reason I've got all these is because I've got a lot of cans that I want to cut open with the snippy snippies and make like kind of like an artwork thing out of them. The reason I've got this root beer is because I'm going to do a test run on this, see how it works out, and then get into the massive amount of cans that are just taking up so much space, which I'm going to show you a clip of now. Okay, so we have loads of Brewdog cans in here, some glass bottles and some other stuff in here. For some reason a t-shirt and even more what looks like Brewdogs and some other random shit in there. Crofters, Thatchers, which I'm currently doing. I've got 2 more in the fridge. These lot are to be returned to J. Ashley Spencer, and then he's given me these for some reason in an Amazon box. Plus, I've got a whole bag of ciders he's given me in there, and another bag full of other beers that I'll be doing at some point in the future. So, got all of these to get through. Okay, so with that in mind, let's just get straight into this. The reason I've got a blue bag on the table is just to, I don't know, keep it from spilling, because I do wash these out with water. So the plan is get the can, stab it in the back with a knife. That sounds sinister. And then cut with these. Is it gonna work? I don't know, which is why I'm testing on this. Plus, I've got another can of root beer, which is technically beer, another sacrificial lamb. So I've got 2 of these just in case I need a bit more practice. So let's just, okay, that kind of, second time was a lot better. Oh, I don't know if this is the right thing. I'm gonna have to make that a bit bigger. You need a little, well, I say little, a big enough hole. Okay, so we sliced it there, and then or maybe go all the way down here. This feels like it's going to take a lot of patience. And, well, not the most smoothest job, but we're going to have to work with it. So should I go straight into a Brewdog can? Let's do it. Okay, so the first one's a bit meh. The second one I'll sort of cut directly in half to sort of preserve this whole front side, and then we'll see how I do with that. Don't ask me why my hands are so shaky. I'm really hungry. So now I've got this sort of part of the can, I can just tidy it up and, I don't know, fold it out. Let's see how I do. Okay, so this is what we're trying to achieve. Something like this, but with all the beer cans that we've done. So that's not looking too bad. I think I've got the hang of this, but there's only one way to find out. Okay, first we're going to start with the Crofters, and we're going to start with the Cloudy Lemon Cider. This was a nice beer. Okay, we're sort of getting somewhere with this. And there we have our first one. And we still got all these to do. Okay, that's the Crofters done. So I'm rinsing these cans out before cutting them. These are all the ciders. Okay, so next we're going to do the Kopparberg, starting with the Kopparberg Cherry, which was a very nice one. And also the Summer Punch was a good one. These smaller ones are much easier and less time consuming. And that's the last of the Kopparbergs. Now moving on to the Strongbows. So that's the Strongbows done. From what I remember, I think these 2 are really nice. And then obviously, that's a Halstead classic. Then we've got all the scraps and leftovers. And here's what we've got so far. Okay, so after doing all these yesterday, We are now moving on to the Brewdog, starting with Punk IPA. Okay, so the one that started it all. This one was a lot harder because I'm trying to keep more of the can, but I'm gonna have to take off this top bit that curves at the back because where I've tried flattening it out, it's dented it really badly. So unfortunately, that's gonna take off some of the Brewdog logo, but ah well. Candy Kittens, this was an iconic one, and the sweets were really nice. I really like the design of this one. Arcade Made was a highlight and one of the best beers in this series, and a very heavy hitter. Okay, now that's something new. Never seen that before. Yeah. Okay, so there is a second batch. Well, first batch of Brewdogs, but the second batch of beers. I'll probably do the next lot tomorrow, and there's still quite a lot to do. Okay, so yesterday I done this season recap of the Thatcher's series and some other ciders, so I can start cutting these ones now. Where I've cut this, I've realized this is actually red, so me giving Blood Orange a low score on the design, not looking as Blood Orange enough, may have been a bit too critical. But what's good about these ones is they flatten quite easily. So there you have it, the Thatchers. I almost forgot about this one. So for the second batch of Brewdogs, we have 5 of them. Wasn't the longest series, but it had some of the most memorable one. Neon Dream had one of the better designs. Silk Road was really good, and Rattle and Rum was legendary. I'm gonna get these cut soon and then put them into the collection. Okay, and that is season 2 of Brewdog done. This is probably one of my favorite can designs of all time, Neon Dream. Don't think it was the best tasting in this series. It was good, but its design is really what wins it for me. Then we have season 3. Okay, next up we will be doing season 4 of the Brewdogs, and these actually have some of the best can designs. We have Anime Chinese Takeaway, Techno Las Vegas, something designed by Willy Wonka, some American patriotism right there, and hey little guy, this one as well, which isn't really part of any series, it's just sort of its own thing. Much like the cold beer peach that I'd done last night and the other one I'm going to do tonight, but let's get on with these ones. I have to say, the artwork on these cans is phenomenal, especially the Lucky Break and King Crush. I really like that King Crush actually, and this was a good little mini series. I think all of them were really good except for the Mr. President, and they're all quite heavy from what I remember. I know you can't see the percentage on the King Crush and the Lucky Break, but I'm pretty sure they're both on the plus side of 6 or 7. And then we've also got Wingman Touchdown. Very American, like the Mr. President one. Okay, so that's the ciders, which I did about 3 nights ago done. So that box is filling up fast. Then I got all kinds of bottles in here, plus a marshmallow stout, Rocky Road in there, and some more bottles there. And then all these cans that have been cut up. What am I gonna do with them? Okay, so we are now on the, I believe it's the 5th series of Brewdog, where we had some iconic cans in this one, such as the Wingman Tropical Storm, the Hoppy Christmas, the Oktoberfest, the Friends one, Juice Shack. This was a pretty good round. A lot of cans to cut though. Okay, so 2 days later and we have cut all of season 5. Well, cut all the cans. This one was pretty big series, 9 beers. And I'd say most of them were actually pretty memorable. I think my favorite one was Wingman Tropical Storm, and I remember Oktoberfest was a good one. But yeah, some great artwork on these ones. Got 2 Wingmans down there. The Friends one, the Hoppy Christmas, Oktoberfest, Cold Beer. Yeah. Okay, so next we have these 2, Iron Game Session IPA and Grape Escape by Brewdog. These are two that I did with J. Ashley Spencer at his house, and I'm going to be cutting these up. And then the premium series, the Tiny Rebel ones, tomorrow. Okay, and finally we have the cans for the premium series and SummerSlam. Well, this one's going to be fun. Look at all that. A whole box, an Amazon box, just full of parts of beer cans that have all been cut up. This one was a bitch to cut. The Stay Puft Caramel Cookie one. And there we have it, the Tiny Rebel Premium Series and the last of the cans. That one was an absolute bitch because all that, you can tell this is like material that's been printed onto a white can, and like loads of blue shit just kept coming off that. So I'm glad that's over.